Hey guys, it's Windham, your filthy casual, and I'm probably gonna record two videos this week. I'm probably gonna record a 250, and then I'm also gonna record a casual talk. And I wanted to start with a casual talk because recent events in my life have made it very, very obvious that sometimes people just need to be aware of what's going on. And I realize that there's a lot of people out there that don't necessarily know how to go to the right people for help, and they don't necessarily know what to do. And so I just wanted to talk to you guys about dealing with family problems. And not family problems like I don't get along with my mom. I feel like that could be a completely different episode of family problems. I'm talking here like straight up abuse. I'm talking here about physical abuse, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, psychological abuse, financial abuse. I'm talking about things that can really impact your future as a person. And, first of all, I want to start off by saying I'm not a psychologist. I don't claim to be a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't have any counseling training. But at the same time, when I'm put in a situation, I've become aware of several things that need to happen, the order of things that need to happen, and what you can really do. If you or a friend of yours is just really going through a hard time. And first of all, I want to tell you, if you are dealing with things, it is not your fault. If you have a crap family, that is their crap problem, and it is nothing on you. I don't care if your dad is an alcoholic. I don't care if your mom left you when you were a baby. I don't care if your parents tell you every day that you're worthless and that they should have aborted you or they should have killed you. I don't care what they say. You're special. You have worth, you have value, and there are people around you that love you, that care, and there are people specifically out there that will help you if you know where to go. And I just want you to be aware of that. There are people that care, there are people that will listen, there are people that will help you. So first of all, I want to say that when you're dealing with a situation and it's some type of emergency, obviously calling 911 is the best option if you can. But something that you need to realize is if you get pulled into a situation, let's say you're a friend of a person that's going through family problems or legal family problems. If your friend is under the age of 18 and they say, "Can I come to your house? I'm having family issues. There's family problems. They're fighting. They kicked me out." If there is a problem and your friend is under the age of 18 and their parent and you are not on good terms, unfortunately, you can't go and pick them up. Don't go and pick them up and take them out of the situation, no matter how much you want to. You have to get the police involved. If not, the parent or legal guardian can charge you with assisted kidnapping of their child, or they can also charge you with aiding a delinquent minor. So you really need to be careful that if a friend is having problems, that it's going to be okay if you pick them up and take them to your house. Just because legally you don't want to get in trouble, especially if you're over the age of 18, because then you're tried as an adult. I mean, you could be tried as an adult as a minor, but it's less likely. So make sure legally that you're okay. Second of all, you need to find out what the laws in your state are. However you can. You need to find out if there is a situation where you're in a house and you need to get out of that house. Like, you just can't stand it. And I'm not talking because you and your mom argue because you don't like doing the dishes. I'm talking if you are in fear for your life or fear for your sanity or your happiness, or you know that you're being abused in some way, you need to get out. First of all, if it's an immediate emergency, you need to call 911 because you have to get the police involved. Second of all, you need to go to your school counselor, because guess what? Your school counselor or your teacher are legally bound that if they know that something is going to happen, they will get you help. So, and if you go to your teacher and they've told someone, don't be mad. They have to, or they would go to jail. And all they care about is your safety and your well-being. So don't get upset. But you can go to your school counselor, because guess what? Most likely your parent or legal guardian sends you to school because they could get in trouble and they could go to jail or tried with something if they don't send you to school. So most likely you have to go to school. Talk to somebody at school if you can't get out of the house. If you can get out of the house, find some way to call 911 if you feel like you're in an immediate emergency. Also, if there isn't an immediate emergency, like let's say you're scared, but you don't have any evidence yet of anything happening, check out your local laws. See what happens in your state if a kid gets in trouble. See what the process is, what the rules are, what it takes for a person to be charged with something. Because you don't want to be making claims that you can't necessarily back up with evidence, because it may just make your home situation worse. Also, as far as legal advice goes, don't really seek legal advice from someone that does not have a law degree. Like, don't. You can ask them a few questions, but by law, they're not really allowed to give you legal advice. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Most likely, what you need to do, if you have any legal questions, is maybe do some research, go to the library at your school, and you need to find someone that works specifically pro bono cases. That means they do it for free. So find someone that works pro bono cases and talk to them and say, look, I'm a minor, I'm in this situation, I need to get out, I need help, but there isn't an immediate need or an immediate emergency, but I'm scared that there will be, okay? Even if it's just financial, like maybe your parents financially, maybe they steal from you or something. Most likely Department of Social Services can be called in. There's also the process of emancipation. Now, if you only have one more year left until you turn 18, there's not necessarily really a point in emancipating yourself unless you really want to. But you can legally try to emancipate yourself, and then you would be responsible for yourself, and you would legally be an adult in the eyes of the law. But sometimes foster care is better, and being put in the system is better. It just depends on your what's best for you and your well-being, because you need to finish high school if you can. You need to figure out your life if you can, and a lot of 16-year-olds can't afford to really be on their own just yet. So, first of all, if there's an immediate emergency, find a way to call 911, and you have to call them immediately. If you don't call them immediately, they can say that you waited or took your time or it wasn't an emergency. So if there's an immediate need, you need to call 911. If 911 isn't really responding, then you need to call a local police officer. And if a local police officer is not giving you the help that you need, or they refuse to come out even though you say that you're in trouble, you need to get the officer's name and then report it later to the police department. Because every time you talk to anybody on the phone that's a professional, write down their name. So that way later you can say, you don't just say, oh, I talked to some random police officer. No, be like, I talked to Officer Jill Markham, and I don't know an Officer Jill Markham. But anyway, if there was an Officer Jill Markham, you go, Officer Jill Markham, I talked to her and I told her that I was in trouble and she didn't help me. So make sure you write down everybody's names. But call either maybe a local detective or a sheriff or just an officer and ask for them specifically. Okay, especially if there's immediate need or immediate danger. Try not to get your friends involved unless you have to. I would say get someone involved over the age of 18 that you can trust, that you can go to in case there is an emergency. And find someone with a phone near you. Always have an escape route if something's going to happen, so you can call 911. Make sure around you know someone around you with a cell phone or a house phone that you can call. Make sure there is a phone that you can call for your safety, for your personal safety. So, yeah, basically the key is you just need to do things legally, and you need to do things the legal way. And, like I said, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a lawyer, but there's just some basic things that sometimes when you're in trouble, you don't know where to turn, you don't know where to look, you don't know where to go. And sometimes you just need to be told that everything's going to be okay. And sometimes you just need to be told common sense things that you need to do because you've never had to do it for yourself before. So, anyway, I might actually record another video in the morning. I need to do a 250 for The Godfather Part 2. That one's gonna take a while because that was a flipping 3-hour movie. Anyway, hopefully I can get this up by Wednesday, because that's the day that I said I'm gonna try to have a video out every week. Anyway, guys, it's Windham, that filthy casual, and I'm gonna post some links down below of different websites that you can go to if you're in trouble. And, you know, just make sure that the internet is not the only place that you go to talk about your feelings and talk about the fact that you're in trouble. Because if you don't, the law is your best friend. Written evidence, visual evidence, and the law, they're your best friend. Sometimes it seems like they're out there to hurt us, but they're at the end of the day, they really want to help. So, anyway, hopefully this helped, guys. Talk to you later.